Okay, here's the question. How much should you keep in cash? How much should you have in your emergency fund or your rainy day account? This number matters because here's the deal. It makes you a better investor if you have the right amount in. Stick around. I'm going to tell you exactly how much to hold in that account. I want to talk to you about how much you should have in your cash account. Now, first of all, I absolutely think you should have a cash account. I'm going to tell you why. Let's start with that. But after I tell you that, I'm going to give you the 3 reasons why the amount matters. So here's number 1. People who have an emergency fund, or what I call a rainy day account. What I've noticed in 2+ decades of coaching and working with people, and my expertise is working with men and women over the age of 50. So this is what I've noticed. People who have an emergency fund or rainy day account, they grow their money better in the stock market. They literally have better performance across the board over any 5, 10, 15, 20-year period. They are more disciplined, and that's the key. They are disciplined because they know they have this account over on the side to take care of like, oh shit, life just showed up. So having a rainy day account is actually really important. So that's number 1. Before I even get to the 3 points, is just telling you why it's important to have this emergency account. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 points to the size of an emergency account. So number 1, this account has to be separate from your portfolio. It can't be in the portfolio. You can't have $100,000 in your trading portfolio and then have just some in cash. It has to be in a separate account, completely separated from everything else. So that's number 1. It's really important because you have to be able to look at that account. That account is actively sitting there and it is waiting in case something really bad happens. This will release a lot of your attention and worry that, oh, I have money waiting in case something bad happens. And by the way, guys, something eventually will bad happen, whether it's something on the car breaking that your cash flow can't pay for, or a furnace, or just something really crappy happening like you lose a job. But having it in a separate account is going to make you a better investor. So that's number 1, have it in a separate account. Number 2, the amount is really determined by how stable your job is. So I kind of think of the most stable job in the United States as maybe working for, the post office. I don't know if this is me being kind of that negative Nancy looking at the world, but it kind of seems impossible to be fired from the post office. So if you have one of these rock solid businesses, and I live outside of Seattle, and another place that's really hard to get fired from is Microsoft. So if you have a corporate job and it is incredibly secure, and you're making a solid 6 figures, then you don't need to have as much as, say, someone who doesn't have the same type of job security. So before we get to the 3rd point, the 2nd point is your job security and how much you earn, relationship with how much you're already saving, has a lot to do with what you should set aside. Okay, so if it's a super secure job, then you can actually set less aside. So now we get to the 3rd point, which is how much to set aside. Super secure job, okay, where you save 20% of your gross income, then 3 months is plenty. So let me say that again. If you have a super secure job, you earn well, yeah, and you save well. Now, saving is different than having a rainy day account. Meaning, let's say you make $200,000 a year or $100,000 a year. You're putting 20% of that into your accounts for your future. Retirement accounts for your future. That's a key thing. You have to transfer it to your future. So if you are a 6-figure earner at a stable, very hard to get fired from company, and you are transferring 20% of your income to your future, 3 months. But do it. Actually set aside 3 months. So if you make $9,000 a month, then set aside $27,000. Put it in a separate account, call it your rainy day account, and let it be okay that only makes you 0.01%. Now you can probably find a money market account that makes 0.5%, depending on what year you're looking at this. Sometimes it's 0%. Back in 2000, it was probably 5%. The point is not for you to necessarily make money off it, but that It's sitting there, it's waiting for you. Now, if you have more of an unstable job and you're not able to transfer 20% of your money to your future each year, then you're going to want something like 6 months of savings in cash, right? Because you have more income instability. And so the answer is somewhere between 3 and 6 months. Now, I know I've heard Susie Orman, if I'm remembering right, she said 1 year. And that just seems kind of excessive. I mean, a year of savings, I mean, really worst case scenario is you get fired. Okay, there'll probably be some unemployment if you paid into that. But the idea that it would take you a year seems just a little bit too much. So it gets back to how secure your job is and how much you are saving. If you save well, 20% plus, and you're making 6 figures, 3 months is plenty. Separate account in its place. Don't trade it. Don't think of it as investment. It is a rainy day or an emergency fund. And that is absolutely going to help you be a better investor. And then on the high end, 6 months. So you might be somewhere into the 3 and 6 months. And do this, it will make you a better investor and it will increase your performance. Thanks, guys. If you like this, please go ahead and like the video. Also, too, leave a comment. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What have you heard differently that you think is better? I love feedback. I appreciate that. Also, too, guys, if you like the video, you're going to love my free course called Clarity and Control. My expertise, or where I focused my entire adult career, is working with men and women over the age of 50 and helping them get control back over their finances, their portfolio, their performance, their investments. And what I hear from everyone is they want control back and they want clarity back over this money so they know they have enough. Clarity and Control, which you can find in the description, is absolutely free and it shows you the first steps. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye.